What's gonna happen to Billy and Tommy on WandaVision? It's 10 p.m. or whatever time this video came out. Do you know where your children are? Well, in your case, I certainly hope so, but in the case of Wanda Maximoff, I am deeply concerned because after the events of episode 8, I know exactly where her kids are, in mortal peril. With just one episode to go and years of comic book lore just swirling around our brains, we have so many questions about how the series will end. Chief among them, what's gonna happen to Billy and Tommy in the WandaVision finale this Friday? Well, to no one's surprise, we have some theories about how it's all going to go down and what's going to happen to the most precocious superpowered siblings in all of Westview, New Jersey.
I have a theory, but I need more.
But in order to talk about it, we do need to spoil WandaVision Episode 8 and possibly the finale if we're right. So if you haven't seen it yet, track down the nearest portal and take a stroll down memory lane to figure out why you clicked this video in the first place.
After you, superstar.
Alright folks, let's get into it, shall we? Those Maximoff boys are in a whole heap of trouble. Our favorite on-screen twins since Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, Billy and Tommy Maximoff, are currently being held hostage by Agatha Harkness and her weird magical tendrils after she took their mom Wanda through the bleakest version of A Christmas Carol humanly possible. I mean, God, just so dark. Having finally solved the mystery of the Hex, namely that Wanda is the Scarlet Witch, an incredibly strong magic user capable of spontaneous creation through her powerful chaos magic, Agatha isn't likely to let the twins go anytime soon, but is she gonna murder them? No, probably not. Doesn't seem like her style, but wait a minute, then again, she did chug a whole coven of witches like they were human Capri Suns, so those twins are still in grave danger for a number of reasons.
I actually did bite a kid once.
The first and biggest problem is something that Agatha alludes to in the episode, which is backed up by years of comic book lore. The twins aren't real. In the comics, we learn that Billy and Tommy are actually fragments of the demon Mephisto's soul brought into existence by Wanda's deep-seated desire to have a normal family life with Vision and her powerful chaos magic. Of course, we then later learn that Kang the Conqueror was pulling Wanda's strings behind the scenes, which we did break down for you in a recent theory video, but that said, I would be well and truly shocked if we do see Kang in the finale. Mephisto is still a maybe-fisto for now, but looking less and less likely with each passing day. But the twins not being real, well, that is something that will absolutely, almost definitely play a major part in the finale. Much like we saw Wanda creating Vision from thin air after she went cryoken times 10, Billy and Tommy are also byproducts of the Hex. Remember how Wanda expanded the boundaries of Westview to save Vision's life during episode 6? Well, she seemed to lose some control over the Hex in the following episode. Her living room went haywire. And the exact same thing happened during Wanda's pregnancy and delivery in episode 3. When Wanda is giving birth to the twins, reality is shifting rapidly inside her house.
I imagine there is a logical explanation for this.
Oh, it's so perfectly natural!
This is because Wanda used her chaos magic to spontaneously create two bouncing baby boys who just so happen to be aging at a truly astonishing rate that defies all medical explanation. She expended a ton of energy to bring them to life. And unfortunately, as we saw when the Vision tried to leave the Hex in episode 6, if Billy and Tommy tried to leave Westview as well, they would also be torn apart House of M style. There's a reason they can't go past Ellis Avenue. So with flight no longer an option, that basically leaves us with fight as our only recourse here. And as confirmed by a promotional image floating around the internet, we can expect to see Wanda, Vision, Billy, and Tommy join forces for a superpowered family fight, as the Hexmen, if you will. Now, considering they not only have to deal with Agatha Harkness, but also Hayward's newly minted sentient weapon, the White Vision, the end result of Project Cataract, which we broke down for you in yesterday's video, they're gonna have their hands awfully full. And as we now know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Agatha Harkness seems to specialize in feeding off of other magic users' power so she can strengthen herself. She's basically the shark from that terrifying Yo Magic commercial, draining others of their magic until they slowly waste away. So perhaps this is a byproduct of the dark magic she dabbled in that nearly got her burned at the stake by her own mother in the first place. And while Billy and Tommy both do have superpowers, and we'll see them come into play in the finale to help defend their parents and their home, they are still a byproduct of Wanda's magic. Given the high likelihood that Vision will die during the finale, which is sadly a necessary step for Wanda to fully process her grief, the twins could be Wanda's last vestige of the life that she had in Westview. Agatha clearly isn't above using the twins as a bargaining chip, and maybe she could use them to escape into the multiverse, tricking Wanda into chasing her or tearing a greater hole in the fabric of the multiverse to do so. So while Wanda, Vision, and the mighty Maximoff twins will have assistance from someone like the newly superpowered Monica Rambeau, who will almost definitely have to break free of Pietro's clutches first, something tells us that Agatha isn't going to be this one-and-done character. I mean, look, she has survived since the 17th century. She is clearly a crafty person.
I actually did bite a kid once.
The other option here is that Agatha is baiting Wanda into using even more of her chaos magic so she can awaken Ralph. You know, her husband Ralph.
Ralph. My husband, Ralph.
Or whatever evil entity she seems to be working with. And whoever it is, Mephisto, Chthon, Nightmare, Ralph Macchio, they are definitely tied to the bug-eating bunny Signor Scraggy and or the sinister spellbook hiding out in her basement. So presumably Agatha and this evil entity, who will almost definitely play a bigger role in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, want to use Wanda as a conduit for whatever evil scheme they've concocted, especially now that they know she's the Scarlet Witch. And a supernatural evil of this scale, one with multiversal implications, would almost certainly attract the attention of Earth Sorcerer Supreme, Doctor Strange, who is rumored to appear in the finale. Ultimately, Wanda Maximoff will have to relinquish the Hex and free the people of Westview trapped in her alternate reality, but in doing so, Wanda would not only lose the Vision, but her children as well. So while Wanda has woken up to the reality that Agatha Harkness is not her friend, and she'll soon learn what Hayward was doing with her dead boyfriend's body, I don't see her taking the high road here and giving up everything she's built for herself in Westview. In fighting to protect her family, Wanda could inadvertently make the situation much, much worse, and further damage the fabric of the multiverse after the havoc the Avengers already wrought upon it in Avengers Endgame. But don't worry, because while this or whatever happens in the Multiverse of Madness might be the last we see of Billy and Tommy as 10-year-old kids, we will see them again as teenagers or young adults in the eventual Young Avengers team-up that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is so clearly building towards. In the comics, Billy and Tommy are eventually reincarnated as real boys, and they grow up to become the superheroes Wiccan and Speed, respectively. Plus, with other Young Avengers and adjacent characters like Kamala Khan and Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, Stature and Ant-Man Quantumania, America Chavez and Doctor Strange 2, and of course rumors about Patriot in the Falcon and Bucky show and Hulkling in Secret Invasion, it seems all but inevitable that Earth's mightiest heroes will soon be joined by a younger team of teenage counterparts in a future phase of the MCU. We'll know for certain what exactly is going to happen with Billy, Tommy, and the rest of the Maximoff family this Friday, though, during the WandaVision finale. I can't believe it's almost here. In the meantime, we'll keep you up to date on all things Marvel and WandaVision over on Nerdist.com, but tell us, what do you think will happen in the finale? Are Billy and Tommy doomed?
I actually did bite a kid once.
Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, stay tuned to Nerdist.com.